Fortune looked at his school results with shaking hands. His heart beat fast when he saw his position. First place! He couldn't stop smiling. For 3 months, he had worked very hard. He woke up early every morning to study. He didn't play football with his friends after school. Sometimes he read his books by candlelight when there was no electricity. All this because of his mother's promise. If you come first, I will buy you a mobile phone. When school closed, Fortune ran all the way home. His school bag jumped on his back as he ran through the busy streets. He almost knocked down Mama Nkechi's tomato stand, but he didn't stop. "Mama, Mama!" he shouted as he got home. His mother was cutting onions for dinner. She looked up, surprised. Fortune showed her the paper. When Mama saw the first, written in red, her face changed. She smiled big and hugged him tight. "My clever boy," she said. "Tomorrow we will go to Computer Village. You will get your phone." That night, Fortune couldn't sleep. He thought about all the things he would do with his new phone. He would play games. He would watch funny videos with his best friend Angela. Maybe he could even use learning apps. Angela was as excited as Fortune about the phone. Just yesterday she had said, "When you get your phone, we can watch those funny cat videos." Fortune lay on his bed, looking at the ceiling. He didn't know then that this phone would change many things. It would teach him and Angela important lessons. It would also teach their parents about how to guide children in today's world. Outside, the sounds of Lagos night continued. People talked and laughed. A baby cried somewhere. Life went on as usual. But for Fortune and Angela, things were about to change in ways they didn't expect. The next day felt like the longest of Fortune's life. He kept looking at the clock in class, waiting for school to end. When the bell finally rang, he ran straight to the market where his mother sold clothes. Mama Fortune closed her shop early. They took a noisy yellow bus to Computer Village. The place was full of people selling phones, laptops, and all kinds of gadgets. Fortune's eyes grew wide looking at all the shiny phones behind glass counters. After much discussion, Mama Fortune bought a nice but simple smartphone. "This is for good things only, studying and talking to family," she said seriously. Fortune nodded quickly, but his fingers itched to try all the fun things he'd heard about. That evening, Angela came over, her eyes shining with excitement. Show me," she begged. The two friends sat on Fortune's bed, exploring the phone's features. They laughed at funny animal videos and took silly selfies. Everything was perfect, until Fortune's finger slipped. While searching for cartoons, Fortune accidentally touched a pop-up ad. Suddenly, the screen showed something very different. Grown-ups doing things the children didn't understand. Both friends froze. Angela's face turned red. "Close it," she whispered, but neither of them moved. The video was strange and confusing, but also interesting. When it ended, the room felt too quiet. "We shouldn't watch that," Fortune said, but his finger hovered near the screen. "Just one more?" Angela asked in a small voice. Fortune hesitated. Then he clicked play again. That night, Angela lay awake in bed, her mind full of confusing pictures and feelings she couldn't explain. The next day at school, neither child talked about what they'd seen. But when they got home, they found themselves watching more videos, this time locking the door first. A secret habit was starting, one that would lead them into trouble they never imagined. The hot afternoon sun beat down on the corrugated zinc roof of Fortune's room as the two friends sat cross-legged on his mattress. For 2 weeks now, they had been secretly watching the forbidden videos whenever their mothers went to the market. The small room felt stuffy with the door locked, but neither child noticed. They were too focused on the glowing screen. Angela fidgeted with the edge of her school uniform. "Fortune," she said suddenly, her voice unusually serious. "What if we try what they're doing in the videos?" Fortune nearly dropped the phone. His mouth went dry. "No way," he croaked, his voice cracking. That's only for married people." "But how will we ever know what it's really like?" Angela persisted. Her curious nature, usually so fun and adventurous, now felt dangerous. "We'll be careful. Just a little try." The argument went back and forth like a ping-pong ball. Fortune's stomach twisted with nervousness, but Angela kept pushing. Finally, with sweaty palms and a racing heart, he gave in. It was nothing like the videos. Angela gasped in pain almost immediately. "Stop! It hurts!" she cried, pushing Fortune away with surprising strength. Tears sprang to her eyes as she scrambled off the bed, straightening her rumpled uniform with shaking hands. Without another word, she ran out the door, leaving Fortune alone with his guilt and confusion. For the next 3 days, Angela avoided Fortune completely. At school, she sat with other girls during lunch. After classes, she hurried home without waiting for him. When Fortune tried to approach her, she turned away, her face burning with shame. The phone sat untouched in Fortune's drawer. Its magic suddenly turned sour. Every time he looked at it, he remembered Angela's tears and felt sick to his stomach. Even the fun games and videos they used to enjoy together now seemed tainted. Meanwhile, Mama Fortune noticed the change between the usually inseparable friends. "Did you and Angela quarrel?" she asked one evening as she stirred a pot of a goosey soup. Fortune stared hard at his homework. "No, Mama," he lied, the words bitter on his tongue. That night, as mosquitoes buzzed around his head and the sounds of the compound settled into nighttime quiet, Fortune lay awake staring at the ceiling. The secret weighed on him like a physical thing, making it hard to breathe. He wanted to tell his mother everything, but fear kept his mouth shut. What if she took the phone away forever? What if she never trusted him again? Little did he know, this was only the beginning of their troubles. The worst was yet to come. The school bell's shrill ring echoed through the dusty courtyard as students poured out of their classrooms. Fortune lingered by his desk, pretending to organize his books while watching Angela from the corner of his eye. 2 weeks had passed since their disastrous experiment, and though Angela had started talking to him again, things weren't the same. "Meet me behind Block C during break," Angela had whispered in math class, her eyes darting around to make sure no one heard. Now Fortune's palms grew damp as he made his way to the secluded area behind the school's oldest building, where broken desks piled up waiting for repairs. Angela stood fidgeting with her braids when he arrived. The moment he approached, she blurted out words that made Fortune's stomach drop. "Let's try again, but properly this time." Fortune shook his head violently. "No, last time. This time will be different," Angela interrupted, her voice firm. "We'll go to the junior girls' toilet. No one uses it since the pipe broke." The walk to the abandoned toilet felt like the longest of Fortune's life. His school uniform stuck to his back, with nervous sweat as they slipped into the cramped space that smelled of mildew and stale water. Angela's hands trembled as she unbuttoned her pinafore. Suddenly, the sound of heavy footsteps on concrete froze them both. Mr. Bello, the stern security guard, was making his afternoon rounds. "Someone's coming!" Fortune hissed, his heart hammering so loud he feared the guard would hear it. They scrambled to straighten their clothes, Angela's buttons slipping through Fortune's shaking fingers. The footsteps grew closer. Without thinking, Fortune yanked open the stall door, and they burst out in opposite directions, Angela darting toward the primary school building, while Fortune leapt over a stack of broken chairs. He didn't stop running until he reached the safety of the noisy cafeteria, where he collapsed at a table, his breath coming in ragged gasps. That evening, Mama Fortune paused while serving dinner. "Why are you so quiet today?" she asked, eyeing her son's untouched plate of jollof rice. Fortune forced himself to take a bite, the spicy food turning to ash in his mouth. "Just tired, Mama," he mumbled. But when his mother turned away, he caught her exchanging a worried look with Uncle Tunde, who was visiting from the village. Later, as Fortune lay in bed staring at the moonlight patterns on the wall, he realized with dawning horror, this secret was too big to keep. The more they tried to hide it, the more it threatened to explode. And when it did, Fortune squeezed his eyes shut. It would destroy everything. One Thursday afternoon, Mama Fortune came home early from market. The compound was quiet, too quiet. Usually she heard Fortune and Angela laughing or playing music, but today only the sound of frying akara balls from neighbor's house filled the air. She tried to open their door, but it was locked. "Fortune!" she called, knocking hard. From inside came quick whispers and something falling. When the door opened, Fortune stood there sweating, his eyes wide with fear. Behind him, Angela sat on the bed looking scared. Mama's eyes fell on the phone in Fortune's hand. The screen showed a video that made her heart stop. Without speaking, she grabbed the phone in Fortune's arm. They marched across the compound to Angela's house, Angela following like a scared puppy. When both mothers saw what the children had been watching, Mama Angela exploded in anger. "This is your fault!" Mama Angela shouted so loud neighbors peeked through their windows. She pointed at Mama Fortune. "Your son showed my daughter these bad things." Mama Fortune's face grew hot. "My son? Your daughter was the one who—" She stopped when she saw Fortune and Angela crying. The children looked so small and scared. A crowd gathered. Auntie Nkechi with her cooking spoon, old Mama Chidi in her wheelchair. Even children playing nearby stopped to watch. Then Mama Fortune sat down suddenly. "We're shouting at wrong people," she said tiredly. "These are just children. We are the parents who gave them phone but didn't teach them how to use it right." Mama Angela opened her mouth but no words came out. Behind her, Angela cried hard. Not scared crying now, but the kind that comes when heavy secrets are finally out. That night, the two mothers sat outside together in silence. Between them lay the broken pieces of Fortune's phone. Both women were thinking the same thing. How did we let this happen? And how do we fix it? Mama Fortune couldn't sleep. The mosquito buzzing near her ear matched the thoughts buzzing in her head. Next to her, Fortune slept fitfully, his small body twitching like a dreaming dog. She got up quietly and stepped outside. The compound was dark except for one light. Mama Angela was still awake too. The two mothers sat together on the old wooden bench near the water tap. "What do we do now?" Mama Angela asked quietly. Her usual loud voice was gone. Mama Fortune sighed. "We need help, but who can we tell about this shame?" Just then they heard a small noise. Fortune stood in the doorway, tears shining on his face in the moonlight. "Mama, I'm sorry," he whispered. For the first time that day, Mama Fortune cried too. The next morning, the mothers went to see Pastor Gabriel at the small church down the road. His office smelled of old books and coffee. When Mama Fortune finished explaining, the pastor didn't shout or judge. He leaned forward. "This happens more than you know," he said gently. He taught them some important lessons and how they should train their children properly. Walking home, Mama Angela suddenly stopped. "We've been so busy working, we forgot to be parents first." Mama Fortune nodded. That afternoon, the mothers sat down with Fortune and Angela. The children looked nervous, playing with their fingers. Mama Fortune spoke gently. "Your bodies are growing. What you saw on the phone is for married adults only." Mama Angela added, "Being curious is normal, but some things can hurt children. From now on, ask us anything." The children nodded, feeling relieved. Curiosity can lead children into trouble, but also how love and understanding can guide them back to the right path. This story teaches us that in today's world, parents and children must walk together, learning from each other and growing together. Remember, every challenge is an opportunity to become wiser and stronger. Just like Fortune and Angela, we can all turn our mistakes into valuable lessons that help not just ourselves, but others around us too. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this meaningful African tale from Magical African Tales, please like this story if it touched your heart, share with friends and family. These lessons are important for everyone. Subscribe to Magical African Tales for more wonderful stories that entertain while teaching life's valuable lessons.